Yeah, Tony, just here watching some soccer action. Already got a premium today in the Premier League, and we're already up 1-0 with Nottingham Forest. A couple teams at the bottom of the table, but got Forest here to beat Southampton today, and they're up 1-0 20 minutes in.
There you go. Ramon's got more action. As we said, gets into some of those peripherals. UFC. I did watch the Cejudo fight. I caught the end of that one. I saw that Muhammad fight as well. I think after Canelo won that fight. That was all that was rolling there that night. But anyway, we go to Major League Baseball here out Southern California, 9:38 Eastern Time. Angels here hosting the Astros. The Astros favored -123. Total sits at 9.
Yeah, the Angels come in with the better record here right now, Tony, against the Astros. Now, uh, we're kind of wondering, what's up with the Astros a little bit. Are they just not as good this year? Can they repeat their form from last year? We shall see. There's no doubt a lot has been tied to the injury with Jose Altuve and him getting back into the lineup, and maybe that's been a big miss so far, certainly for Houston. But don't forget, they've had a couple of other guys out too that's kind of affected this offense. I mean, don't have the power certainly that they've shown over the previous years. Just 30 home runs so far this season, but McCormick could return as early as today. Brantley could come back this week, and Altuve was taking batting practice on Sunday. So get ready, folks. I think the Astros are ready to get back to being the Astros possibly a little bit. They've lost three of their last four games to fall to 500 right now, and they've lost three consecutive series. But they'll send Hunter Brown to the mound, and if anybody has their doubts about Hunter Brown, you might want to squash those a little bit. He's off to a 3-1 start again, 2.6 ERA. And remember, Hunter Brown in his career so far has an ERA under 2 in his career of 19 starts. So if anything, Brown is a guy that I think we can start to count on and look at him as a very consistent performer right now for Houston. He will be going up against Patrick Sandoval here today. The both pitchers are 3-1. Sandoval pretty good also, 2.93 ERA. Now the Angels had a bad weekend against the Rangers. They got crushed 16-8 on Sunday, 10-1 on Saturday. Suarez had to leave the game, Tony, yesterday early, and that put the bullpen in effect. That inconsistent Angel bullpen. They're, I think, about 10th in the league now in bullpen ERA at about 3.48 or so. So Suarez leaves. Phil Nevin basically throwing his hands up right now. He told reporters that he didn't know where the Angels were going to go from here to solidify their rotation and right now. So a little bit of problems maybe ahead. Don't want to say it too loudly so many would hear, but it just looks like a little bit of issue currently for the Angels in the pitching department moving forward. Now, Houston lost their last series at Seattle, but they've won four of their six starts under Brown. This has always been a pretty good series for the Astros over the last several seasons. In fact, they've won 9 of the last 12 meetings between the two teams. They're also a decent 9-6 on the road so far, like teams that kind of win on the road. Against Patrick Sandoval, you've got Jordan Alvarez, a couple of home runs off of him. Tucker has a couple of home runs off of him. Got some other key bats in there with some good numbers today, including Maldonado, 4 for 10. So right now, I would think even though the Astros have had some of their starting pitching woes of their own, Luis Garcia's hit the injured list, Urquidy's hit the injured list. I like Brown here in this matchup against the Angels, and I'm going to lay the small price here at $1.25 against the Angels today. I'm going to take Houston on the road in this nice series here. This to start the week, Astros and Angels.
All right, Ramon here on Astros. -125 against the Angels. Yeah, Astros had the Angels numbers. Even going back here, won 26 of the past 38 against the Angels. The Astros have dominated the AL West the past several seasons. That's one of the reasons for the success is how much they dominate this division. And also, too, the Angels you mentioned giving up a lot of runs of late. A little concerned here about Sandoval's contact and the walks again. But again, Hunter, it's a lot about Hunter Brown. This young pitcher, as you mentioned, Hunter Brown has really come in. It's been a spark because they are going to lose Garcia for the rest of the season. Now it is a Tommy John surgery.
Oh, bummer. Okay, so that'll leave Houston in a little bit of a scramble as well. But key for Houston is getting those bats back. I know everybody's talked about Altuve, but certainly you got contributors here with McCormick and Brantley coming to Houston. We'll see what it's like with him in there as well. So I have to like some of the matchups today. Yeah, maybe because of Alvarez, but I mean, who can slow him at this point? And Tucker, maybe those two guys that, if you think about it, those are the reverse, those are the splits guys against Sandoval, and they've made contact against him. A couple of home runs each, as I said. So you'd think the guys that maybe where Sandoval, definitely has been very, very effective, against the left-handers. There's a couple of guys though that have been able to solve him and take him deep. But Sandoval definitely, I rate him very, very high right now against those lefties. So, anyways, Tony, yeah, I think Houston, this is the time where they need to find themselves to get on a roll a little bit. I don't think anybody's expecting them to be a 500 club and to enter this series with a worse record than the Angels here, but I like this price for sure today at $1.25, and I do expect Houston to start to get things together a little bit. They certainly, that in the game yesterday, they did start off okay, but eventually gave it up to the Mariners. So a little bit interesting that they've lost three series in a row. That's very un-Houston-like right now, but try them here against the Angels.
All right, Ramon here on Astros minus 125 against Angels. This one starts 9:38 Eastern time. It'll be on ESPN Plus. All right, Ramon, let's take a look over at Tony'sPicks.com for today's action. Of course, Ramon, fantastic numbers here as we'll put up for you right now. 6,670 units of profit for 2023. That is all documented over at Pick Dodge Premium, showing great profit last 30 days. Yesterday with a winning day as well. All right, Ramon, we got NBA playoffs. A single here from the NHL. 11 games from Major League Baseball. What do you have going on over at the site?
We'll be involved in all three playoff games tonight. Get my playoff three-pack for $30 over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout to pick up my two plays tonight in the NBA. Got to play in each of the games and a play in the NHL game. So took care of business last night. 2-1 in the NHL and get back on track here in the NHL playoffs. So pick up this three-pack, profit guaranteed over at Tony's Picks. The march to 7,000 continues. I keep getting there, getting pushed back, keep getting there. And you know what happens if I get a little week or so flatlining? Like you just said, Tony, still up, a good 14 units for the last 30 days. But just seems like whenever I kind of stall a little bit, we get a boom, just like that, get a nice run. So let's see what happens today with these 6 games. We've got also a three-pack in the major leagues tonight, a three-pack of winners coming to you on this 11-game card. That might be it for me today. I'll look at the lineups when they come in. But Mindy and I, funny, Tony, I don't want to put Mindy on the spot because she definitely could have turned me on to a few more winners on Sunday that I did not follow through her lead on. Of course, the format of the morning steam is Mindy gives the stats and the projection, and I just come in with the pick, whether I agree or not, and maybe throw in a stat or two, but try to get it done in timely fashion. So Mindy gave me plenty of opportunities on Sunday, Tony, and I kind of pivoted the wrong way or went with the total or whatnot. And so I only have myself maybe to blame on that. But I will say this, Tony, looking over my morning steam card and Tony T's video, I would argue to say, and I write down every pick that Tony gives every day, look at his. I don't think I've had as many agreements on a single card as I do today with Tony T. So maybe take a look at Tony's video and let's roll a little bit with some of those free plays. But we'll be back on track with Mindy here. I couldn't believe it. 11 games, we didn't come down to one consensus play. So might be on the line a little bit here if I do have just 3 premium plays. If that says anything else about maybe what I was looking at with the card today. First day of a series, too. Sometimes you want to see how things shake out. First game of a series, but pick up that 3 pack of winners in Major League Baseball. They're also profit guaranteed for $30 and use the promo code Tony T at checkout. That'll save you a little bit on that package, or you can get my 3 day, my 7 day, my 30 day, see what all the hype is about. Don't miss the next run to 7,000. You don't know when it's going to happen. You'd like to know when it's going to happen, but sometimes you don't. And hopefully it'll be today. Like I said, we're already off to a winning start for the subscribers in that game. Nottingham Forest, they just scored again, but it's 2-1. I missed the other goal. I must have been introducing my pick. They've scored 3 goals already in 30 minutes here. These are really bad teams. They're both are probably headed back down to the championship. Nottingham Forest, basically an outside shot here to maybe stay up in the Premier League, but unlikely really. And Southampton is heading back. They're talking about a team that's been up and down to the Premier League over the last couple of decades. So take a look at these 2 packages, Tony, and get on track with me. But that 3 day, that 7 day, that 30 day doesn't allow you to miss anything. And the reason why I'm back in the Premier League today, other than it's a holiday over there for the coronation of the king, they have a bank holiday today, but usually there's a Monday night game at this in this time slot. But the fact that the other sports are winding down will allow me to come in with a little bit more now. Mindy mentioned the WNBA getting underway, so with less action in those other sports and the playoffs are losing teams. Branch out, make sure it all has to do with time. I mean, I got to handicap these. We're not just throwing darts here. So that's really what the premiums are all about. Whatever you have time to look at, and make sure you give solid information to the subscribers. And that's what I try to do over at Tony's Picks. Not only do you get the picks, I give a little 4 paragraph write up of each game and try to give some solid information. Can't win them all, but I want you to have some good information about the game. And I'm sure that my subscribers are pleased as well with, especially, I will mention some of the write ups this weekend where I kind of dictate in text form, how the game might play out, what to look for. And some of the write ups were really spot on. The ones that I did win in kind of a 500 weekend, but the ones that we did win, you could almost say that I was writing the script as far as the way I described the pace of play or how the team might win and things like that. So it was solid information. Certainly, you're going to get that with me over at Tony's Picks when you subscribe. So you get information to put into your memory bank a little bit, and you also see kind of the patterns of the ways that I bet as well a little bit. That'll even if it's not a super profitable package, or if it is, you're still going to get a feel for the way that I do things, I think, and that's important when you're doing your own handicapping, because I know people are always going to branch out, Tony, and look for their own plays or feel confident about something they might like as well. So hit me up over at tonyspicks.com. Don't forget to visit me in the Discord as well. We can always give away some free picks as well in there. Some great conversations over the weekend. We saw Mindy hanging out at a lunch, a brunch, happy hour. I don't know what it was, but it was a good time. Looked like a good time, and we had a good time. Kentucky Derby. We'll see what happens. Great job for man. They were probably happy in Venezuela with the performance there, and well, should be a pretty good. And yeah, Tony, I thought it could have been argued that my loss, and I went 2-1 in the UFC. You watched the fight. I think it could have been argued that Cejudo won that last round, but I didn't have any confidence necessarily that he would beat. They're going to kind of raised the champion's hand. I'm not saying it was dictated like that, but I think the scorers also look for aesthetically, maybe Sterling looked better, and Cejudo had to work very, very hard for all of his uh, points that he was scoring. So I didn't really have a problem. I wasn't stunned or anything. I wasn't sure whose hand was going to get raised. I was watching the Twitterverse a little bit, and it was a mixed bag. I'd say the Twitterverse was leaning to Sterling as well. You see, like a lot of the cards come up right as the decision is waiting to be announced on that last commercial, and I wasn't sure, but I had it 3-2. in Cejudo's favor, but I didn't have a problem with the result as far as what I was expecting because maybe my untrained eye, even though I've seen all these fights forever, but just wasn't sure what was going to come out. And this one was in New York and not Nevada, so that maybe throws a little bit into it. They or New Jersey, I should say, but. So you don't know with those commissions. You're usually dealing with some different judging. The UFC hadn't been to New Jersey in quite a while, so no problem there. And yeah, Canelo, that's probably it. That's probably it. It looks like thoroughly dominated his opponent, uh, who gave a nice account of himself as well. But maybe that's it. Alvarez says that's it. We'll see what happens there, Tony. I have a feeling that could be it. I think he was sincere, but maybe that's why it was in Mexico. All right. Yep, Tony, get my packages there. Appreciate you very much. And let's have a good week.
That's right, guys. Got Rose Muscat over at Tony'sPicks.com. We'll flash those numbers again here. 6,670 units of profit for the year. It's all documented over at Tony'sPicks.com. So when you go to Ramon's handicapper page, just scroll down to pick history. That's where all the plays are there, and you can verify all the numbers for Ramon here. Every play that is put in the system. And of course, as Ramon was mentioning, tonight he's got a Monday night 3-packer from Major League Baseball. Also playoff pass as well, featuring the 2 NBA and single from the NHL in a 3-pack. But instead of buying all these plays individually, you may opt for the long-term pass. If you want to try them out, that 7-day pass is a good one right here. Get all of Ramon's premium plays for 7 days. All his baseball, all his NBA, NHL playoffs, UFC, the UFC weekend, you'll get his UFC plays as well as Bellatar's in action. That's also part of it. Also delves into peripheral sports. You may get some soccer plays in there. You may even get some tennis. That's part of the all sports pass. Also late Steam included. Of course, all members can log in at 11 a.m. Eastern time for your members' picks. But we also allow our cappers to post plays late called late Steam. So for those plays, those will be emailed directly to your inbox and documented in the system as a late Steam play over on Leaderboard 2.0. You can track that as well. All that action all is part of that long-term pass, not the one-day pass. One-day passes are static. You get 3 plays, you get 3 plays. You get 5 plays, you get 5 plays. So here, you make the choice. So go ahead and get signed up. All right, Ramon, we also put together a Twitter account for you, Tony's Picks Ramon, where you control the keystrokes. So there you'll find picks and some promotions and some notices about his service, as well as Morning Steam, another show in the books. Of course, back Tuesday, no show Tuesday, but we do the rundown with Ramon here on Game Day Picks.
Oh, sure, more work. That's fine by me, because how else we gonna get to the top? You gotta put in the work. So yeah, okay, we'll do it, Tony. We'll come in with a little preview tomorrow of the baseball card and the playoff games. But also, you talk about those other sports, and I'll find a pick tonight in Twitter land. Even though we've given out a ton so far, I think we can come up with another one somewhere here where I haven't given something out. I don't want to rehash anything ever. I'll come up with another play for the Twitter and my 75 followers. I mean, come on, what's going on here? I'm giving out free winners over there. Let's build that account up so I can get active on it and start giving out some more winners. We're going to get build that up a little bit. If you're not following on Twitter, maybe you're not one of the 4%. I get that. So if you are, though, please follow me on Twitter there. Get these plays at Tony's Picks Ramon. Going to come up with another winner and send out my link to the card tonight. And we'll be back on Wednesday with more Morning Steam. Mindy and I previewing the card. Let Mindy recoup. Let me recoup a little bit here too, but we'll keep it going this week over at Tony'sPicks.com. And I'll be here tomorrow with you, Tony. That sounds fine. Preview the games for this week. And big games tonight, especially in the NBA. We'll have some fun for a Monday, no doubt about it, with these critical NBA games tonight. So looking forward to that with the Lakers. I caught Mindy by surprise today talking about that incident yesterday with Jokic and the team owner. The team owner has come out and said today that he does not think that Jokic should be suspended. And quite frankly, he shouldn't, because you don't necessarily expect the fan, if you will, to fight the player for the ball. Again, the ball wasn't going to be inbounded right away, like it was talking to Minnie, like a soccer goal in the 95th minute where you got to run it back or even hurry a little bit to inbound the ball. To get that whole situation shaken out was going to take 10, 15, 20 seconds, because players were mingled in with fans, and the referee's going to have to touch the ball and give it to the man who was going to inbound it anyway. So that's where Jokic was out of line, and Sheba, the experienced man, knew how to take a dive basically when he got brushed there by a huge Jokic. Falling back into his seat with the exaggeration of the arms flailing. So he will not be fined for his actions. And I would question the fact that Jokic was assessed a technical there. But maybe the technical, really, in the back of the referee's mind was for wrestling the ball in a situation where there was no rush.
Yeah,
In that
we're
situation.
not too far away from glass boards being around NBA arenas and all basketball arenas. I truly believe these fans are just way too close to the players. Wouldn't be surprised if we see glass boards
I don't know if
around.
you
You
Yeah,
know,
I don't know if you've seen that, Tony. I've commented that quite a bit, actually. I actually believe, other than the fact that, yeah, maybe in today's uh, venues, more should be done, quite frankly, or policed a little bit. But I do believe, and I don't hear this talked about much, but I do believe with the athleticism of today's players that we are taking away from the potential of spectacular saving of the ball plays because they always have to be conscious of landing on things, even driving in. You got to be careful of landing on people. I believe there is not enough space around the court to allow these great athletes to make the plays that maybe deserve to be made. I mean, it's got to be scary, leaping there. They In the regular season, they're not going to do it because of the potential for getting hurt, and that's why I think you see it a little more in the postseason because
yep.
they go for the balls and everything. So I believe that they should be cleared at least another 6 feet all the way around the court. I know, it's not a who cares, but I do feel that way, especially you know the players of 2020 are different from the players of 1977. I'm
Oh yeah,
sorry.
there's no question about that. Yeah, that's true. We'll see how that rolls. Of course, always the cameraman behind. It used to be an issue back in the '80s. The cameraman sitting behind the basket was always an issue. I remember that becoming a huge issue back in the day. All right, Ramon, it's always great having your show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Okay, I better get working. Thanks a lot.
Got Ramon Scott here on